On Sunday, March 30th, the planet Neptune, associated with your heart's deepest longings, your intuitive superpowers, your ideal vision, Neptune will enter the fiery, just say yes, bold, confident sign of Aries. Neptune has not been in Aries for 165 years. And because this is a 14-year cycle, Neptune in Aries not only signifies a brand new era, it also marks the beginning of a brand new life chapter, a significant life shift for many of you and for all of us collectively. So in this video, I am going to share with you, in part one, I will share with you the dates of this transit, the themes, including the higher expression and the lower expression of Neptune in Aries, how to make the most of this 14-year cycle we're about to have, what to watch out for, and who will most feel Neptune transiting in Aries most personally and intensely in 2025. In part two of this video, I will be doing readings for all 12 signs and pulling an oracle card for each of the signs as well. Be sure and watch part one, because if you skip to your 12 sign readings, you will miss how you can work with these energies with the most ease and grace. This video is going live on the day that Neptune enters Aries, so I am super excited to dive deeper with you on this topic. But before I do, I want to say hello and welcome if you are new to the channel. I am so glad you have found us. This is a like-minded community. If you want to feel empowered through Western tropical astrology and you want to find your tribe, you are in the right place. Be sure and tap the subscribe button so you don't miss a video. And welcome back to all of you who have subscribed to my channel, who've been watching my videos. I am incredibly grateful for you, and I would not be here without you. I'm Betsy. I am a psychic astrologer, intuitive life coach, and the author of the book, The Magic of Saying Yes, a very Aries title, Answering Your Heart's True Calling. I am a full-time professional astrologer, so if you would like to find out about my readings and coaching offerings, stay tuned till the end of this video. I will tell you a little bit more. And I also have a free gift for you, which I will tell you more about at the end of the video. And in true Aries form, there are lots of cars driving by as I'm recording this video, revving their engines and so forth. Aries wants to go, so here we go. Now, I also write about the astrology between videos, so if you would like to receive my weekly inspirational astrology updates, the astrology between videos, direct to your inbox before they go out to social media, go to my website, subscribe for free, and you will get my free instant download gift as well at the same time. So let's begin with the dates of Neptune in Aries. The last time that Neptune was here was 1861, and that transit went until 1875. It is a 14-year cycle, and needless to say, it has not happened before in our lifetimes. Neptune first enters Aries on March 30th. It will stay in Aries until October 22nd of 2025. It will then briefly dip back into Pisces at 29 degrees between that late October period and late January. And on January 26th of 2026, Neptune will re-enter Aries to stay until 2039. So as you can see, this year of 2025 is a transitional year for Neptune, as it will move back and forth between Pisces and Aries, helping us to close out the old energy of Neptune and Pisces and bring in the spark of the new, get catalyzed by the fire of Aries as we begin to sense and feel a new door opening. So especially because in 2025, we are in a transitional year between the Pisces and Aries energy, I think it is very important that we look back on where we've been with Neptune and Pisces before we talk about where we're headed with Neptune and Aries. First of all, Neptune, regardless of the sign that it is in, represents the highest octave of divine love. Neptune is the planet of spirituality, unconditional self-regard for ourselves and for others, compassion and forgiveness. Neptune governs the ethereal realms. And so it also rules our intuitive guidance, our psychic ability, your dreams, your nighttime dreams, but also your daydreaming. And the truth is that Neptune can only be fully felt through our feeling sense, our intuition, our sensations in our body, all of the clairs we talk about, claircognizance, clairaudience, clairvoyance. It can be a feeling of, I just know that this is right. I don't know how I know it, but I know it. Neptune also symbolizes the highest vision for your life. And it reminds me of the Martin Luther King famous speech, I have a dream. So in its highest octave, Neptune can represent why your soul came here, what your soul wanted to contribute, what you wanted to experience and express in this lifetime, how you wanted to beam your spirit of pure love out into the world. And wherever you have Neptune in your chart, my friend, in your natal chart, is where you have that ideal of how life should be, what your highest vision is, what would bring your heart the most satisfaction, the most joy, the most bliss. And because Neptune is the archetype of the oceans, no boundaries, no limits, a vast expanse of possibility, the sense that we are all one, Neptune truly represents deeply spiritual, transcendent concepts. If you are having a Neptune transit, especially what we call a hard Neptune transit, it can feel confusing. Your mind can feel fuzzy. It can bring you into a place of, I thought I knew what I wanted, or I thought I knew where I was headed, and now I don't. That can happen during a Neptune transit as well. So over the last 14 years, since 2011, Neptune being in the water sign of super intuitive, imaginative, oceanic Pisces, Neptune is the modern ruler of Pisces. Neptune has been at home in this energy, but a planet being in its home sign does not mean that it's necessarily an easy transit. An important thing to remember is that Pisces rules the 12th house of endings in the zodiac. And human beings grieve endings. The 12th house also rules karmic events, relationships, people that could have come in and out of your life that brought you challenges, that brought you great growth as well, and probably moments of bliss and joy, but pain could have been part of that equation as well. During the Neptune and Pisces transit, you could have experienced the lower octave of the energy, which would have been disappointed, your hopes dashed, disillusionment in love or with anything that you were wanting to co-create in your life. Could have been disillusionment in a job, in a career, in finances, with your health. You could have even felt betrayed by life. You could have gone through a crisis of faith. You could have questioned your manifestational power or the law of attraction, especially if a dream didn't come to fruition for you. And one of the hardest lessons I feel of Neptune in Pisces is that many of us, at least once, learned about projection. The idea that we are projecting our own fantasy of what we thought someone would be, what we thought a job would be, what we thought a neighborhood might be for us. And we had to face that hard reality of that wasn't the truth of that person or situation or place I thought I would be so happy. That was actually my own projection. But these are the things that evolve us on a spiritual level. This is how we gain spiritual mastery and spiritual maturity. While Neptune has been in Pisces, you could have opened up exponentially on a spiritual level. You could have had a spiritual awakening. You could have become aware of the mind-body-spirit connection. The corporate world, a lot of us have seen, has become much more conscious of the idea of wellness, work-life balance, holistic well-being. And metaphysical modalities have become more mainstream. Astrology, for example, has become incredibly popular over the past 14 years. Many of us have done deep inner excavation. We have processed emotions that we have potentially held on for lifetimes up until now and released past life or current life trauma. And as a result of us doing this quote unquote shadow work, we have grown exponentially, all thanks to, in large part, Neptune in Pisces. And I believe that Neptune in Pisces, Pisces representing the last sign of the zodiac, has prepared us to step into this new era of Neptune in Aries, this brand new beginning, this fresh start, new doors opening for us. And I find this incredibly exciting. So we now leave the oceanic depths, the very emotional watery sign of Pisces, and enter the fiery, spark-filled, adventurous, independent Neptune in Aries. Neptune in Aries is an invitation to ask yourself, my friend, what lights me up? What sparks my passion? If I couldn't fail, what would I say yes to? Aries is a lover of self-improvement, self-actualization even. In Aries energy, we want to fulfill our potential, and we are willing to rise to a challenge, to take something on that we don't know. We don't know how it's going to go. That's Aries energy. I'll figure it out as I go. Because in Aries energy, the fire gets lit in our belly and we want to take off. We don't want to stop and think. We don't want to figure it out. The inspiration, the passion is usually strong enough that it carries us forward, even with doubts, even with not knowing exactly what we're doing. Aries flies by the seat of its pants. And Aries also helps us to summon the courage to go where we haven't been before. So don't be surprised if a new dream or an unexpected adventure comes on quickly through a burst of inspiration. That is so exciting that you spontaneously are willing to say yes and go for it. Aries rules the first house of the zodiac, and this is the house of you. This is the house of the self. This is the house of the I am identity, as we astrologers like to say. And because it's the first house, it is willing to be pioneering. Actually, the fact that it hasn't been done before, or that you don't know people who have done it before, or that it's going to cause you to rise to the occasion, that in and of itself is part of the Aries draw. It's ruled by the planet Mars. Mars is our motivation, our desire, our drive, our mojo. Mars wants to get into action. It's determined, it's passionate, and it catalyzes the warrior within us. I like to say spiritual warrior because I'm a lover and a pacifist. But there is a principled nature to Aries energy. I will fight for what's important to me. I will fight for my ideals. There's an element of justice because after all, the sign across from Aries on the zodiac wheel is Libra, the sign of the scales, the sign of justice. And Aries and Libra share energy. They flow energy to one another. And this is a really good thing because we can go overboard in Aries energy. We can go, and burn out easily. But as you can tell from this description that I just gave you of Neptune in Aries, it is very different from the surrender, go with the flow, ride with the tide, allow what needs to go and end, allow it to go, Pisces energy. And I believe that as we are on the verge of Neptune leaving Pisces and entering Aries, we are also on the verge of completing soul commitments, karmic soul contracts. Not to say that we're not going to have new soul contracts and new growth in Aries, but they will be new. They will be different lessons, and there will be an excitement and an enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is an Aries word, the root of enthusiasm, entheos, of God. So as we step into this new energy of Neptune in Aries, your desire, your vision, your new open door must be of spirit. If it's what we call an ego goal, one that will satisfy your desire for immediate gratification, for example, but it's not part of your soul's path, Neptune will wash it away. Neptune will take it away. So don't be surprised, my friend, if you feel like you are simultaneously releasing an old self, an old chapter, a former life, maybe feeling an ego death, as you are beginning to feel a new self, a new soul essence, a new part of you perhaps coming online. It may show up as a new desire. It may show up as a sense of renewed hope, a spark of fresh adventure, or just a feeling that a part of you is coming back online. A part of you that's been dormant is rebirthing. And while we have been in this past 14-year cycle of Neptune and Pisces, you could have lost hope. You could have lost faith. You could have become so identified with what is leaving, what has ended, what hasn't come to fruition for you, that disappointment, that disillusionment, that feeling of, well, I guess this is how my life is going to be. You could have become so identified with that your dreams of what you truly wanted, or even that feeling of aliveness, has been dormant or put on a shelf. Well, it's time to dust off that shelf. It's time to bring that hope and that faith back, because we are on the verge of this something new igniting our hearts, igniting the fire in the belly. And remember, and this is what I love so much about Neptune and Aries, Aries energy is fire, and fire is of the spirit. It's almost like it's calling our spirit home again. And because Aries energy is of the spirit, what comes to you as something that you want to do, what is lighting you up or exciting you, may make no logical sense whatsoever. And if it doesn't make logical sense, that can be a sign that you are on the right track. It may feel to you like a call to adventure. It may feel to you like a spiritual quest. If the desire originates from your heart, from your spirit, from your soul, because Aries is a heroine's or hero's journey, I want to give you a few symptoms of the call when you are being called by your soul. It can feel like a desire for something more, even if you don't know what that something more is. Restlessness, boredom, a need for more independence and freedom. You could feel frustrated or angry with a current situation, job, relationship, health, finances, or you could even feel suffocated in that situation. You could feel like there's something else you should be doing that would be more fulfilling and meaningful to you. And you know you're on the right track in exploring what that something more is when you feel what I call in my book, The Magic of Saying Yes, exhilarated fear. There's an exhilaration to the possibility that maybe you could do this or that maybe you could succeed at that. But there's also fear because it's new. And remember the ego doesn't want change. Even if it's exciting, even if it's a brand new adventure, the ego doesn't like change. So also, if you feel like I'm not qualified, I don't have the confidence to do this, I don't have the, certifications or the degree or the experience, I'm flying by the seat of my pants, that's also a sign you're on the right track. If you feel like it's something you never thought you would do, but there's also this feeling of, I feel like I'm coming alive again. Maybe I could actually succeed at this. And I often see this with clients and have certainly felt it myself, a soul's yearning or longing that feels to you like if I don't explore this, if I don't at least follow the thread of this possibility, I may never get to experience it in my lifetime. So with this Neptune and Aries transit, your inner magician, your inner alchemist is being called forth. Neptune and Aries will activate our power to co-create with the divine on a new, inspired level. You could feel very much drawn to principles around manifestation, such as getting into the vortex, as Abraham Hicks describes it, or just spending more time in your imagination, feeling, sensing that you are doing, being, or having what your heart most desires, feeling the feeling of it, letting your heart amplify that out through the universe. And if you don't feel fully deserving or worthy of what you desire right now, my friend, my affirmation for you is I am worthy because I exist. I am worthy because I exist. My joy, my enthusiasm, my desire, my passion, my laughter, these alone ripple out into the universe and make the world a better place. Okay, so a few things to watch for with Neptune and Aries. Neptune is connected to our health. Wherever Neptune is transiting your chart, and I will be speaking about this in the 12 sign readings, this is where we are extra sensitive. Aries rules the head, the eyes, the skull, the brain. It also rules the adrenal glands. And because it's connected to the adrenals, it also rules the sympathetic nervous system. If you have strong Aries energy in your chart, you may be someone who is highly motivated to succeed. You may feel driven. You may have experienced or experience in your life a very strong motivation to strive for success, whatever success is for you. But the thing is with Neptune transiting in Aries, if we're not managing our revved up engines, well, we could be pushing too hard and this can show up as health consequences. In Aries energy, we tend to have a feeling of urgency, a fear of falling behind, not getting to the finish line, not succeeding, not winning. And this is taxing on our adrenals. Did you know that the cardinal signs, which are considered the doers, the initiators of the zodiac, did you know that the cardinal signs, especially Aries, are more prone to inflammation? Not only this, but the fight or flight response, the nervous tension, these are associated with Aries. The upshot of this is that I believe many of us are going to learn out of necessity during this Neptune and Aries transit how to rewire our nervous systems, how to bring ease and calm back into our mental, emotional, and physical states of being. I also believe that this transit is going to help us to learn patience with ourselves, patience with others, and to really become aware of any patterns such as working too hard, overachieving, overreacting emotionally, any pattern that brings dis-ease into our bodies. I think Neptune in Aries is going to show us where we could benefit from slowing down, breathing, not pushing ourselves so hard, so that we can live a healthier, more sustainable lifestyle. So who will most feel this transit of Neptune in Aries in 2025 most intensely and most personally? Those of you who have planets or points between 0 and 2 degrees, maybe 3, of the cardinal signs, Aries, Libra, Cancer, or Capricorn, you will feel this energy most intensely. Those of you who have planets or points in these early degrees of Sagittarius or Leo, you will get a lovely trine energy, ease and flow from Neptune and Aries in 2025. And those of you who have planets or points in the early degrees of Gemini or Aquarius, you will get harmonious sextile energy, which is new opportunities during the Neptune and Aries 2025 transit. Now, when Neptune first lands in Aries on March 30th, it will make a conjunction to what we call the Aries point, which is the point of all new possibility, all new beginnings, pure potential. Anything is possible. This alone, Neptune conjunct the Aries point in the zodiac. This alone signals a new paradigm. And in particular, it's a new paradigm for leadership. So there will be, while Neptune is in Aries, especially at the 0 point, which is most of April and January and February of 2026, there will likely be new leaders coming to the forefront, or among all of us waking up to our own inner leadership. And leadership can take a lot of forms, right? It can be the behavior that you model to your children, to your friends, in your workplace. It doesn't have to be you stepping on a stage. But it is calling us forward into a new level of our soul's expression that will have a positive influence on others. 2 more key dates are in July of 2025 and February 2026, Saturn and Neptune will meet. Now in July of 2025, they will be within half a degree orb, so very close, but not exact yet. And then in February of 2026, the Saturn-Neptune conjunct will be exact. I have a separate video for you on Saturn and Neptune in Aries, so watch that video if you want to know more about this conjunction, and I will do an additional one when we get closer to July. And finally, we get a beautifully supportive aspect between Pluto in Aquarius, Uranus and Gemini, both sextiling Neptune and Aries. This is the harmonizing energy. This is very supportive for new opportunities, for blessings, for solutions, for making something real. These 3 planets, Pluto, Uranus, and Neptune, will all be within 1 degree of one another from late August to August 22nd of 2025. Now, how all of these energies affect you, my friend, will depend on the natal planets and points in your chart. Because I can't see your chart, I can't tell you when Neptune is going to activate your chart, when you will most feel this energy. This is something that I can do for you in a natal chart reading. So I'm excited now to talk about where this is happening in your chart based on your rising sign. But I want to close out part 1 with one of my favorite quotes from Howard Thurman, which is, "Don't ask what the world needs. Ask what brings you alive." Because what the world needs is more people who have come alive. Okay, my beautiful friend, let us do the 12 sign readings now. Listen to your rising sign. This is the area of life in which you will be experiencing Neptune in Aries based on the whole sign house system. You can also listen to your sun sign and your moon sign for further themes and intuitive messages. So let us start with Aries, because beautiful Aries, this is your transit, your Neptune transit, and it is happening in the first house of you. And this is definitely a new era for you, Aries. Why do I say this? Because it's a 14-year transit. It's happening in the first house of you, your identity, the roles you play, the titles that you have, how you show up at work, how you show up in your family, with your friends. And it's also your vitality in your physical body. And it's how we want other people to see us, how we want to, how we're projecting ourselves out into the world. So, you know, the roles that we play, they impact all the areas of our life, right? They impact our career or our job. They impact our family life. They impact, you know, all of our interactions with other people, and they very much impact our significant relationships, which are directly across the wheel from your first house. Aries, you are a very physical energy. You are ruled by Mars. Mars rules the body. So I believe that Neptune here is going to show you if there's anything that needs to change in your body in terms of, you know, what you eat and how you exercise, and are there any, you know, even our thinking, even the way, because the thing about Aries energy, and I have Mars in Aries, so I've experienced this, is that we do tend to drive ourselves harder in Aries energy. We're not always aware of it. We're used to it. This is just how we flow, right? This is how what's the word? I'm trying to think of a good Aries word instead, but like that we are highly motivated people. And so what does that mean? It means we can drive ourselves too hard without even realizing it until it starts to show up in the body, or it starts to show up in our, you know, in nervous tension, headaches. There's a lot of different ways, of course, it can show up. But Aries, this transit is calling on you to reflect and get inspired. It's a very inspiring transit. It's a very exciting transit. Inspire you about what do you want in your life? What will be sort of your next adventure, your next new horizon? Many of you will find yourself on a quest with Neptune transiting your first house. You will find yourself in seeking mode. You will very likely experience a part of you that is, you know, dissolving, releasing, going away. Why? Because that's just part of the path. It's just part of what happens in our lifetime, right? As if we are on a path of growth, as we grow, the parts of us that, you know, we no longer need, they dissolve, they fall away. So that could be part of your experience of this Neptune transit as well. And as I said at the beginning of this video in part one, and this is true for all astrology transits, you know, we feel it when it gets close to the degrees of our planets. For you, in this case, first house Aries planets, or the point, your ascendant point of your chart. Aries, you will be extra sensitive during this transit, but you just went through a 12th house Neptune transit, and 12th house transits are not often the easiest ones. So you may have already gone through that, what I just described as, you know, a part of you washing away, a new part of you coming online. You may have already done the dissolving part already. Did I say already enough times? I have to laugh at myself when I do these videos. Okay, so Aries, basically this transit is asking you, what is your new vision for you? Is there a new role that you want to take on, whether it's career or a volunteer role, or a role in your community or in your family? You may experience a shift of identity during this transit. You could get married, you could get divorced, you could get, you know, hitch up with somebody. I don't mean to make marriage as the thing that everybody does. I know a lot of people don't want to engage in that institution, so to speak, any longer. You could have a child. You could graduate from a significant program, start a new career, end a way of being. I mean, anything is possible here. All of it has to do with your identity. And when I say identity, I mean, you know, it could be as simple as the title that you have that is very formal, and as more broad as something that you love to do. I am a lover of life. I am a celebrator of the metaphysical. I am, you know, a spirit of pure love. Like, you can come up with your own identities. And I always encourage my clients in coaching to expand their identity away from, not including, of course, those identities that we have in our home and family and career, but also what about the things that you love, expanding it to that as well. Okay, Aries, I do believe it is time to pull a card for you now, and we shall see what the cards have to say for you. I don't want to underestimate or not mention that this is a very important transit for you. It could happen anytime between now and 14 years from now, just depending on the degrees that you have of Aries in your chart. So be extra gentle with yourself, because we can't control the waves of Neptune, the washing out what's no longer in alignment with us and the bringing in what is. Okay, Aries. But what I love about this transit is the inspiration, the joy, the spark of fire, the new adventures. You know this, Aries, you know it well because of your energy. When you get ignited, when you get that just know feeling, I just know I have to do this, you have a tendency to run with it. And there's nothing better for an Aries. There's nothing better. Okay, here we go. Your card is breaking trail. A breakthrough is at hand. And that's just what I was talking about, that spark of possibility. If you feel like you have been in a state of dormancy, if you've been on hold, if you have felt lost, a 12th house Neptune transit can do that. A breakthrough is at hand. You are about to embark on brand new territory, Aries. If you have something that you want to do and you're excited to share it, let us know in the comments below, or anything else you want to share. I would love to hear. Pisces. Hello, beautiful Pisces. Pisces, Neptune is leaving your sign. How do you feel about that? Leave me a comment. Let me know. This is where you are going to now embark on something new, most likely a new vision, a new dream for this new era. And Neptune has been in your first house of you, your identity. You could have relinquished an identity. Something could have left your life, whether it was a relationship or anything, any role that you played. And now, and you could have taken on a new role, for sure, with Neptune in your first house of new beginnings and fresh starts. But now Neptune is moving into your second house. And what is the second house? It is your earned income. It's the house of material security. So not just your income, and now someone's honking outside. So these are the things I cannot control. There's a lot of excitement. It is the day before the Aries solar eclipse. And then, of course, the day after is this Neptune and Aries transit. So there is a lot of outward expression I've noticed in the neighborhood today. So Pisces, back to you. Earned income for the second house, your values, your self-love, and also your possessions. Everything, anything and everything that brings you material security. With a Neptune transit here, a way of making money could dissolve and go away. A new way of making money could replace it. You could begin to get income from other places, in the sense of, maybe there's a benefactor that comes into your life, or maybe you qualify for Social Security, or you qualify for something that changes how money is coming to you. You could be ready to embrace a new level of deserving. You could be opening up to the truth of what you are worthy of, envisioning your worth. So really going through an experience. Neptune, Neptune is our highest vision. Neptune is our imagination. Neptune is our artfulness. You could be making money doing your art. You could be going through an experience of seeing yourself in the ethereal realms, or within your own mind and heart, seeing yourself as the queen or king of your life in a new way, really up-leveling how you see yourself and loving yourself to a greater degree than you ever have before. That would be a great use of this Neptune transit, Pisces. So I am now going to pull a card for you, and we are going to see what the cards have to say. And like all of these transits, when you feel this Neptune energy is going to be when it activates the planets and points in your natal astrology chart. Okay, let us see Pisces for you. Pisces. Joy and delight. Open your heart to joy, beautiful Pisces. See, I feel that a lot of you with Neptune in your sign, and I know I mentioned this in part one of the video for everyone, but I feel like this has to be true for a lot of you Pisceans. You have shed a skin. You have let go of karmic soul contracts. I mean, you worked through them. You did the shadow work. You have been through probably a lot of inner growth and development while Neptune was in your sign. Now Your inner child is being called out as in out into the world, out into life. Giving your, and this relates to self-love too, which is the second house. Your inner child is, spirit is calling you to give more airtime, more fun, more to just open up. Okay, so as I look at this card of joy and delight, I get this message of the hardest part is behind you. The hardest part is over. You have been through it, and now it's time to just celebrate and let yourself live in joy. It's so easy for our minds to just always be looking for what's wrong, what needs fixing, out of survival fears, right? And we often do it without even realizing we're doing it. But if and when you open your heart to joy, that's when real magic and miracles are going to come through for you, beautiful Pisces. So if you are ready to claim this, claim your joy, let us know in the comments below. I would love to hear. Aquarius, Aquarius, Aquarius. Hello, beautiful Aquarius. Aquarius, you are going to experience Neptune in Pisces in your third house of moving and shaking. The third house is your neighborhood. It's your local, everything that goes on in your local environment. It is the places that you go to do your shopping and your workouts and the people that you meet, and any meetup groups or any kinds of networking that you do. That's the third house. It's also your mindset and your communication and your relationships with your siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, neighbors, landlords, people that, your personal trainer, if you have a personal trainer, your massage therapist, your yoga teacher, all of that. And let's add more to it, Aquarius. The third house is also the short trips that you might take in your car and your devices, and like buying and selling of vehicles. So what is Neptune in this third house talking to you about? Well, it might be encouraging you to make a vision of self-employment a reality. The third house is self-employment. It's also any of your transactions, where you set up a website. Sort of, in some ways, it can be how you live your life. How do you, do some of these things that you do on a regular basis? You may be deciding to change your location, to change your neighborhood. You may be deciding to change your gym. Maybe you're bored with your gym, or there's a new gym that was opened up and you want to go start that. You may change your story, your inner narrative. Most of you will, with a Neptune transit, because Neptune is so ethereal and it does govern our ability to co-create with the universe. If you feel like you haven't fully manifested what you most want, then you may be looking at, how can I shift my mindset, or how can I see myself with new eyes in a way that I am somebody who can create what they most want. Aquarius, I think a lot of you are with a Neptune transit here. Remember, Neptune transits move quite slowly. It's a 14-year transit. It moves very slowly. If you have planets or points in the high degrees of Neptune, it will be a while before it gets to your Aquarius energy. But it could be making transits to other planets or points in your chart. And this is where an astrology reading can be super helpful. But Aquarius, big picture for you, a third house Neptune transit is saying, how do you want your sort of everyday, conversations, the flow of your schmoozing with other people and your enjoyment of where you are, whether it's where you work or where you live, how do you want that to feel? Does your current environment match your highest vision, your ideal for where you want to spend a lot of your time? This transit is asking you this. And Aquarius, you are going to get a sextile to your energy from this Neptune in Aries transit, which often brings an opportunity, a solution, a feeling that you are making your dream a reality. So that's really beautiful. So let us see what the cards have to say for you. And it's also the house of teaching, growth, and learning. So, teaching is the ninth house as well, but often we start in the third house. We start by writing a blog. We start by putting a message out. We start by thinking about what we would want to share with others if we did have a spiritually based business, for example. So I'm taking a breath, and Aquarius, let's see what your card is. Wondrous universe, beautiful Aquarius, walk in beauty. This is igniting the wizard. And what I love about this is when I see this wizard, I see an alchemist. And this house, the third house, is the house of Mercury. It is the house of the divine messenger. So you are activating, Aquarius. You're activating your co-creative magician wizardry. You're activating it. This transit is activating it. And I love that the message is so simple, walk in beauty. It's basically saying this is already who you are. So there's really nothing for you to do except enjoy. Walk in beauty. That's what it's saying. It's saying take on the identity. If you need an identity of being the alchemist, the magician, the wizard, take it on. See yourself as that because this is who you are. And the purple, Neptune energy. Know that you live in a wondrous universe. Aquarians, you know this already. Aquarians are already tapped in, dialed in to the cosmic intelligence. Just applying, bringing in that cosmic energy that you need to walk in beauty. If you want to claim this, let us know in the comments below. I would love to hear. Capricorn, Neptune is now transiting, as of Sunday when this video is going live, is now transiting your fourth house of home, family, and inner child conditioning. This is the lowest point of your chart. It's the foundation of your chart. It's your roots. It's your sense of belonging. And with Neptune here, boy, is it asking you, what do you want your home life to look and feel like? Not just what you want your sanctuary to be and where you want it to be, but your family life. And is there any relationship in your family of origin that is ready to be transformed? Because Neptune does transform whatever is not in alignment with our soul any longer. And it does really encourage us to tap into the ideal of what we want. Can we have the ideal? I mean, ideal is ideal. It's not earthly life doesn't tend to match ideals or perfectionistic kind of visions, but we start there, right? We start with that vision. Capricorn, this is a really important new era for you for many reasons. One, because Pluto has moved on from your sign, but also when we have a transit of a major outer planet like Neptune to an angle of our chart, which is your fourth house cusp, that is the beginning, usually the beginning of a significant change. So let me shuffle for you and let us see what the cards have to say. This is an invitation for inner child healing if you're ready to do that. It's an invitation to really take your sense of rootedness and belonging seriously, not in a sober way, but like, doing the kinds of exercises or things that you can do to make you feel more rooted to this earth. If that's an issue for you, it's not for a lot of Capricorns because you guys are an earth sign. So you're not like flowing in the ethers as much as water or air signs can be. But, some of you are definitely going to feel a change of heart around home or family during this transit. And Capricorn, Neptune is squaring your energy when it makes an activation to your Capricorn energy. And that is motivation. That is squares get us moving. Squares are our drive and they can feel like tension and pressure when they're happening, and they're often uncomfortable, but they get us moving. They get us into action. So that is a good thing. It's a new vision. It's a new era, a new vision, a new open door. What do you want? What do you want? How do you want this area of your life to feel, look, and be, Capricorn? Your card is lie back, rest, and relax. I think Capricorn has gotten this card before recently. The universe is really talking to you, Capricorn, and saying it's time to take a load off and let yourself envision. So often we don't get the vision that we want because we're not softening our energy enough to let the vision come to us. We're still going. That's the cardinal signs. Go, go, go. Neptune and Aries will be It's going to have that faster paced rhythm, but at the same time, Neptune will dissolve anything that's the shadow of Aries, and that's the go, go, go too much, the too fast, the impatience, the revved up nervous system. Those things, as I spoke about in the first half of this video, will shift over time with Neptune and Aries. And so this is saying, Capricorn, if you push too hard, if you work too hard, if you are always focused on your to-do list instead of your being self, your doing self instead of your being self, it is time to lie back, rest, watch clouds, let the divine speak to you. The divine speaks to us through Neptune energy, the highest octave of love, the highest octave of co-creation. Your sweet, what could be, if it isn't yet, very sweet connection with your higher self, your source, your soul. If this resonates, Capricorn, leave me a comment. I would love to hear. Sagittarius, Sagittarius, beautiful Sagittarius. Beautiful Sag, you are going to experience the invitation. Neptune is inviting you into a new era, a new dream, or a new vision in your 5th house of true love and romance, your house of creativity and children, your house of parenting, fun, pleasure, adventure, freedom. Wow, Neptune in the 5th house. This is a lot of juicy, delicious kind of energy. Why do I say this? Because already you can tell by my description of the 5th house, it is that house of the playground of life. The things that we do really enjoy, most of us. It's where we give ourselves permission to take a break. It's where we give ourselves permission to just play with color if we like to make any sort of art. It's where we give ourselves permission to just be a child again. And to have fun, just let loose and have fun for no reason, because we just, humans need to have fun. We need to have fun. Life can be way too serious. But Sag, Neptune here is saying, what do you want this to look and feel like? What's calling to your heart? What is your new vision? That's Neptune energy. And Neptune in Aries is trining your energy, Sag. It's trining your energy. So that is a really lovely, beautiful, harmonious, it's where things fall into our lap. That's trines, the wind at your back, things falling into your lap. Just there's a real ease to this energy for you. So let's see what the cards have to say for you, Sag. And one thing before I pull a card, when we have Neptune transiting our 5th house, we can fall madly in love with someone on the first glance, just so you know. Neptune can blur our vision. I mean, we say love is blind anyway. And then on top of it, a Neptune 5th house transit, the house of true love and romance, just so you know. You could also find, if you have children, that they are, getting a little tricky with you at times, as children can do, just so you know, like we can, with Neptune energy, it's easy for us to see anything that we're interacting with through rose-colored glasses. Just a heads up. Boundaries. Okay, let's pull a card for you. Sag. But Saturn will be here too, beginning in May. And, that's a whole other video. I do have a video on Saturn, Neptune, but Saturn is also going to keep us to that realization of what's true, what's real, and setting boundaries. So that will be helpful. Okay. Go slow, take your time. I mean, this is part of a Neptune transit in the 5th house. What great advice for a 5th house transit, now that I think of it. We can so get swept away, so get swept off our feet for anything. I'm not just saying love and romance. Anything that is that next shiny object, whether it's a job, whether it's a new friend, whether it's a desire to move someplace where we've never lived before. The thing about Neptune and Aries energy, we will just one day we're doing one thing and the next day we're selling everything we own and heading off. And, I've experienced that in my life. So it's not just that. I don't mean to just give examples that I can relate to or have done, but Going slow and taking your time is very, very helpful advice, I feel, for a fifth house Neptune transit. Now, it also says fogged in. Neptune is fog. Some of you could feel fogged in right now. Some of you could feel like you're not at that place where you have the inspiration you need. Or you could find yourself when you have a Neptune transit, because it will be different for everyone based on the planets and points in their chart. But when Neptune activates one of your planets, you could find that it fogs you in. Probably not the one to your Sag energy, because that's a trine and that's usually nice flow. But if it does square or oppose any planets or points in your chart, those are the more foggy ones. That's what tends to happen. But what I love about this card is that there are many people in the boat with you. You're not alone. You're not alone. You're doing the journey with others. And it's actually quite, if you look at the image of this card, it's quite beautiful. This mandala representing wholeness. Stay attuned to your soul, stay attuned to yourself. Give yourself the time to do the things that really nurture you. Sag, what really nurtures you? The practices, the spiritual practices that really fill up our cup, or anything else that nurtures you. Give yourself that time. It will be easier to go slow and take your time. And you will, I think, really love this transit. If anything I shared resonates for you, beautiful Sag, leave me a comment. I would love to hear. Scorpio, hello, beautiful Scorpio. Scorpio, you are going to experience Neptune in Aries, beginning a brand new era for you, a brand new life chapter for some of you, a new vision, a new heart's desire, a new door opening. This is happening for you in your sixth house of your daily work. It's happening in your health area, which is, how we eat and how we work out and how we feel in our bodies. And also just all of your schedules and routines, like your everyday lifestyle, basically. It's really the house of lifestyles and optimal health. So a Neptune transit here, and you are co-ruled by Mars, Scorpio, and Aries is ruled by Mars. So there's a simpatico in your energies because of that Mars emphasis for both signs. The question I have for you, Scorpio, is how would you want your daily work to be different? Are you happy with your work environment? Are you happy with the work you do? Are you happy with your supervisor, your coworkers? And if you could hear that very loud engine going by, I'm just chalking it up to the Aries revving your engine energy. So Scorpio, you could be checking in for sure with yourself on your work. And some of you may want to make more money. You may want to do a different kind of work. You may want more flexibility or freedom in your schedule. Some of you may want to work at home if you're not working at home. You may want to work with more people if you've been working solo. It's going to be different for all of you. This transit will also be very much asking you to look at your habits, make sure that they are healthy for you, and that, you're taking on a habit, perhaps too, that is strengthening your body or, adding to your optimal health. So Scorpio, let us now pull a card for you and see what the cards have to say. You have had Neptune in your fifth house before this. Neptune in Pisces was in your fifth house, and that energy for you could have brought in a new relationship. It could have shown you something about a relationship, love and romance, especially that you didn't see before. Could have brought up issues around your children if you have children. It could have brought up, it could have really thrown you into your creativity as well. Neptune is, like all of the planets, there's a dark and a light. Neptune dissolves what's not in alignment with us, and it sparks our aliveness and joy and love, especially with Neptune and Pisces, our spirituality, where on the lighter side of it. Okay, Scorpio, let us see what the cards have to say for you. Your card is Navigating by the Stars. Scorpio, this card is saying, follow your bliss. It's okay if you don't know where you're going. Being a Mars ruled sign, you may have already experienced this. That inspiration can come through in a moment, and it can change our life on a dime. It can change our life on a dime. However, Scorpio, you're fixed energy. fixed energy wants to maintain what it has. Aries energy, on the other hand, is cardinal, and it is very strong initiation energy. Now, that said, you are co-ruled by Mars, so you do initiate, of course, in your life. You do know how to work with Mars energy, but sometimes the fixed signs are much more comfortable knowing more, having more navigational points, for example. And this is saying your points right now are the stars. So that's the astrology, of course, but also just know that as you set out on your path, you may feel like the fool in the tarot, and you may feel like you are just, shooting by the seat of your pants, so to speak, and you don't know. And this card is saying that's exactly how it's meant to be. In the unknown, we find our true self. In the unknown, we find a part of us that we weren't in partnership with before, and that can change everything. Beautiful Scorpio, if you resonate with anything I shared, I would love to hear. Let me know in the comments below. Libra. Hello, beautiful Libra. Libra, you are one of the ones who's going to feel this transit most intensely. Why? Because you are a cardinal sign. Aries is a cardinal sign, and you are going to feel this transit of Neptune in your 7th house of partnerships. Now, as I explained in part 1 of this video, I highly encourage you to go back and watch it if you haven't already. As I explained, there's a light and a dark to all energies, a higher octave, a lower octave. And Neptune in the 7th house can dissolve, take away, wash away any dynamic, partnership dynamic, relationship pattern that wasn't healthy for us, or it can bring in something that is a match for our new energy, a match for our new vision. It's a new era that's beginning with Neptune in Aries. It's calling on you to really clarify your vision for partnership, to clarify your vision for really not just romantic partnerships, but also partnerships at work, relationships that mean a lot to you, where you have their back and they have your back. In Libra, because you are the sign of balance, you are ruled by Venus, you're the sign of balance, you're the sign of harmony. Fairness is very, very important to you. Mutuality is very, very necessary for you. You might find yourself during this transit, you might find yourself, and there's a bus putting on its brakes right outside my window, if that's a metaphor for some of you. You might find yourself recognizing where a relationship or a dynamic or a pattern that you've had in relationship has felt unbalanced. Often for Libras, it's you feel like you're giving more and you're not receiving back. The people pleasing that people associate with Libra energy. But once Libra has become aware of overgiving, I've seen that change dramatically. People pleasing gone out the window, which Neptune can do. It can carry that off away with a wave. So what do you want to feel in your relationships, in your partnerships, Libra? That is what this transit is asking you. And let us see what the cards have to say for you. And people have asked me, does this mean I can meet someone during a transit like this and a new partner? And of course you can. New business partner, new marriage partner, new live-in partner, whatever you want, new lover. Friends with benefits. Everybody wants different things, although I wouldn't put friends with benefits in the 7th house. I would put that, generally speaking, in the 5th house, unless you have a real, solid agreement for your boundaries around that relationship. But one thing to keep in mind with partnerships, whether they are business or romantic, is that with Neptune, we can become smitten quite easily. So going slow, taking your time, putting everything in writing if it's a business deal, so that you don't get carried away by your emotions, because sometimes we can learn later that, especially with Neptune, that we were projecting. I speak about that in part 1 of this video. Okay, Libra. And I think I already said this is opposite you. This is an opposition for you, Aries, to your energy, and oppositions usually play out in relationships. Not surprisingly, since this is your house of partnerships. Okay, Libra. Your card is Believe in Magic. Do you believe in magic? Beautiful Libra. because this is inviting you on a journey by moonlight. And this is inviting you into the ethereal realms of Neptune, the fairies, the nymphs, the elementals, the nature spirits. This is inviting you, the full moon. This is inviting you to go into another realm, to find what your heart has been wanting. If you feel a lack, or if you feel like, where's the magic? If you feel like, where's my manifesting ability? Why is it not happening? It's saying this is about belief, your belief that you can create what you want with the help of the divine. Beautiful Libra, if you relate to anything I've shared, let me know in the comments below. Virgo, hello, beautiful Virgo. Virgo, you are embarking on a new era, a new vision, a new dream, a new door opening for you in your 8th house of power and control, emotional attachments. The 8th house is the house of our assets, our shared resources, our loans, our taxes, and our emotional and sexual intimacy. This is a transformational house. And so with Neptune here, I would say that some of you may have a dream of, a nest egg, a retirement fund, a new home, making money through investments. And when I say new home, I mean like purchasing, that's an asset that fits here. Or you could have a dream of the kind of partnership in which you are sharing resources that feels quite heavenly. Neptune is heavenly energy. Neptune is that highest octave of divine bliss and love. The other side of Neptune, as I shared in part 1 of this video, is what we call the dark side, is where we can be disappointed and disillusioned with what we are actually experiencing. That doesn't measure up to our ideal, doesn't measure up to the dream or the vision that we had. So you could experience either of those, Virgo, but Neptune has its own spell. It casts a spell on us. It gets us dreaming. We can't not dream. And a card just flipped over, so this is going to be your card. We cannot not. Of course, we all have a choice. We all have free will. We can choose to not be influenced by Neptune, but it's pretty hard to do because Neptune just feels that lovely and that dreamy and that special. Neptune transits to a planet or point, for example, in your 8th house, that would probably feel quite intense because the 8th house is a plutonic house, plutonic as in Pluto. And this is, yes, a Neptune transit, not a Pluto transit, but there's an intensity to that energy, which is why we call it the house of transformation, death, and rebirth. The card that flipped over for you, beautiful Virgo, is vast vistas expand your horizons. It is time to get out of any box that you have put yourself in, consciously or unconsciously. I mean, usually it's unconscious, right? We don't say, I'm going to put myself in a box. I'm going to stagnate my energy. We don't do that. But here you are being called to a new adventure, and this is so Aries energy, Virgo. This is so beautiful. There are vast vistas that are awaiting you. There is a new horizon that when you get to it and you look over the edge of, whatever it is, the view, when you see the view, the possible view, I think this is going to light you up. I think this is going to open you up. I'm starting to feel, just by tuning into the energy, I'm starting to feel that some of you are going to be really surprised. You're going to be very surprised by what you see, by what you feel, by this igniting. What I'm feeling is an igniting of, it's like a very fresh air, but it's like, I didn't think this would happen. I didn't think I could have this. Maybe a dream that you let go of, that you said, that dream is dead. That's not happening for me. I'm just going to, like my life the way it is. Not usually love when we're putting a dream aside, right? But I'm just going to be at peace with my life as it is. You may have decided. And I'm getting the feeling that some of you are going to be very surprised by this new opportunity, this new vibration I'm hearing. This new sense of you, a new part of you, a new soul essence in you. You may even be surprised, coming alive, coming online, opening up for you, beautiful Virgo. If you want to claim anything that I shared in this reading, let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear. Leo, hello, beautiful Leo. Leo, You are embarking on a new era. You are opening up to new vision. You are saying yes to a new dream in your house of expansion, Leo. What a beautiful place to have a transit of Neptune. Wow, wow, wow. Some of you are going to get smitten with a new religion. It doesn't have to be a religion in the traditional sense, with a new way of thinking, a new philosophy, a new way of seeing, a new perspective. Some of you are going to get all excited about traveling to another country or moving to another country. Some of you are going to be um, deciding to do some sort of program, learning program, whether it is a traditional degree like a PhD or master's, or whether it is, something that's less traditional, a certification program, a vocational program. But Leo, you're getting a lovely trine from this energy. You're getting a lovely trine from Aries energy. And Aries energy is really, I think, going to light the fire in your belly. It really will. And what do you want? What do you want for your one wild and precious life? The ninth house is also publishing, it's teaching, it's programs that you can create and put out online. It's your opportunity to share your wisdom, your sage wisdom, with others. Some of you will publish a book or get the idea to publish a book. Maybe you'll get the idea to start doing videos. Maybe you'll get the idea to, and these aren't just ideas. These are like getting like I said, getting ignited, feeling like you've been catalyzed into a new beginning. Remember, the ninth house is right before the 10th house of career. So often we get that ignited feeling, and then we prepare in the ninth house. Not to say you can't start doing it now, not to say you can't start teaching now or publish that book or any of that during this transit. But the ninth house is often where we get that feeling of new horizons, new adventures, and we run with it. And what a great place, Leo, to have this Neptune and Aries transit. So let us see what the cards have to say for you. And if you get disillusioned with a guru, that could happen because there is an element of lower octave element of Neptune, which is disillusionment, disappointment. But when Saturn is here, which it will be this year as well, with Neptune, they will be very close together in July. And when that happens, you're going to see the reality of things. So we will all see the reality of things if that's something we need to see. And a card flipped over. So this is going to be your card. And it is passion and pleasure. Passion and pleasure. Savor your life, Leo. Wow, 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 wow. This is one of my favorite cards in the deck because, well, I love to dance. So that's part of it. They're dancing around the fire. But to me, this is a very primal, letting go, feeling free. There's the full moon. Just letting yourself express your true self is what this card is to me. And so follow your passion. That's what we have to do with Aries energy. Aries will settle for no less. It has to be something that ignites us, that lights us up. And true for you too, Leo, as fire. Savor your life. Take time out to celebrate the small or big successes of life, the joys of life. Take time out. That's savoring, right? And I'm feeling called to say too that we can move so quickly in fire energy. Slow down, step back, and realize that what you have now is precious. It's precious and you are precious. You are a blessing to the planet, Leo. If anything I shared ignited you or resonates with you, let me know in the comments below. Cancer. Hello, beautiful Cancer. Cancer, I have my moon and rising in Cancer. And those of us who are Cancer risings are going to be experiencing this Neptune in Aries transit in our 10th house of career, legacy, retirement, semi-retirement, life purpose expressed. The 10th house is where we tend to spend a lot of our time, if not most of our time. It's where we get recognition from others. It's the most public house of the zodiac. So Cancer, this transit of Neptune is asking you to do some real reflection, if you haven't already, on how you want your life to look. How do you want to spend your time? Some of you probably are considering retirement. Some of you probably are considering a new business or a new career. Some of you are thinking about, do I want to let this old way of spending my time, this old way of being, this old way of doing my career maybe, do I want to let that go? Do I want to shift it? Do I want to fine tune it? Part of this is that Aries energy, where we have Aries, we can really feel driven hard. And if you feel that you've been driven too hard, Neptune is coming in with, even though it's fire, Neptune is still this planet of, the ethereal realms, and it's still the planet of the oceans. Neptune will carry away with a wave anything that isn't for our best and highest good. So any of that, like striving, pushing too hard, powering through in career, Neptune is going to show up at our door and say, we need to talk about this because, this is a new era, and that isn't good for our health for most of us. So, but back to your vision, back to your new era, back to what you want, this could be a real turning point time for you, Cancer. All of the cardinal signs are going to experience a turning point with Neptune. Why? Because Aries is a cardinal sign, and this is an angle of your chart, the 10th house, and these tend to be crossroads moments. So let's see, are you at a crossroads, Cancer? And if so, what is your crossroads? Another loud engine driving by. This is so Aries. Some of you may be taking off. Taking off for new horizons. Let us see what the cards have to say. And I should also say that this transit is squaring your energy. And so that's what a crossroads feels like. It feels like tension and pressure. It feels like indecision sometimes. It feels like, oh my gosh, I need a change, but I don't know how I'm going to make the change. And just know that when you have a Neptune transit, it can take time for us to get clarity and decide. It can feel foggy. We can feel like I was so on a roll with whatever I was doing, and now I'm on this detour, or now everything slowed down or stopped. Now I have to make a change. That can happen too. Not for everyone, but these are some ways that this transit can play out. Cancer. Your card is, this is the great card, miracles, miracles. Expect the wondrous to emerge. Wow. Wow, I love this card. Hold your magic lamp. Focus on what your heart desires with unwavering faith and focus and intention. Keep your eye on the prize. Keep your eye on the dream of your life right now. Beautiful Cancer, you can have what you want when you stay focused and when you believe, when you have faith in miracles. Expect the wondrous to emerge. And if you want to claim your miracle, Cancer, let us know in the comments below. Gemini. Hello, beautiful Gemini. Gemini, I have my natal sun in Gemini, and those of you who are Gemini risings will have this transit of Neptune in Aries in your 11th house of the world. The world is your oyster, your fulfillment, your dream. What would bring you the most fulfillment? This is also the house of long-term gains, financial gains, hopes, wishes, and dreams, supporters, allies, social media platforms, audiences and followers, and friendships and tribe. Really, this is the house of where we feel supported, where we feel like we are with the people that vibe with us, and where we can see our deepest fulfillment realized. So it's a beautiful, beautiful place to have a Neptune transit. Beautiful Gemini. And this is where you're beginning a new era. You're looking at your vision. You're, hatching a new dream, new doors. You're ready for new doors to open. It can be in any of these areas. Let us see what the cards have to say. Like I said with the 5th and 7th house transits, I'm going to say the same thing with the 11th house because a bus is right outside if you hear the squeak. I'm going to say the same thing here, that this is a people house too. And the people houses are where we get smitten, where we fall head over heels, where we fall madly in love in a very short time. And we don't always see the truth about a person or a situation. So like I said with the 5th and 7th house readings, I'm going to say it for the 11th house. And that is, my advice is to go slow, to try to be as grounded as you can. not negotiate away or ignore the red flags. Not that there necessarily will be, but you get the idea. Just to be very present, attuned, and try not to project your ideal onto others or onto a dream. Easier said than done, I know. And there's a lot of joy in Neptune, a lot of bliss that we can experience in those projections too, I have to say. So, you know, and we grow a lot from them. So let's pull a card for you now. Gem. Beautiful sparkling gem. Let us see what the cards have to say for you. Gemini. Your card is, ooh, reaching your destination. Your light is shining brightly. So here you see the dream. This is such a Neptunian card, is it not? Here you see the dream, the castle in the sky. It is surrounded by eclipse energy, and we are having our Aries solar eclipse on the 29th, and the next day, the 30th, is when Neptune goes into Aries. So that's really synchronistic too. And we see the bubbles or orbs. We see the transformation of the butterfly. Your light is shining brightly. You are reaching, you will or are on your way to reaching your destination, Gemini. Your light is shining brightly. This is such a validation of all of the evolutionary soul growth that you've done up to this point. And it's saying, keep dreaming, keep your eye on the prize, stay on the path. All is well. Your light is shining brightly. If you want to claim that you are reaching your destination, let us know in the comments below. I would love to hear. Taurus, hello, beautiful Taurus. Taurus, you are going to experience your new era, your new Neptune era in Aries, your new vision, a new dream, doors opening up for you in the ethereal realms. Why do I say this? It is happening in the 12th house of rest and retreat. The 12th house is the unseen realms. It's the house of your imagination. It's the house of spiritual awakening. It's your mystical self. It's those experiences that so many of us love to have, such as astral travel, such as, having those message dreams, those dreams that carry you away, those experiences of synchronicities and magic that remind us that we are not just humans in physical bodies, that we are on this awakening adventure. For this reason, a Neptune transit can be incredibly uplifting. It can increase your psychic ability. It can open your clairs, claircognizance, clairvoyance, clairsentience, all of the clairs. It can open those up. You can really open up intuitively, psychically. At the same time, and deepen your connection with the divine. At the same time, it can bring in a lot of past life stuff. It can show us fears that we didn't see before. It can feel dark at times. It can feel like something is washing away. What's washing away is an old self that you don't need anymore. What's washing away could be karmic relationships. What's washing away could be emotions that you have held on to for lifetimes, or even ways of thinking. It could be subconscious. It's the house of the subconscious mind. So it could be subconscious belief systems or stories that are getting dissolved and washed away. And that would be very beautiful. So Taurus, this is going to be a very deep diving transit for you, this Neptune in your 12th house. Let us see what the cards have to say. And with Aries energy, it can come on very suddenly and spontaneously. We can really be uplifted into other consciousnesses. So that's really cool. Just the message that's coming through right now is don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, because sometimes in Aries energy, we can feel like something is so, I have to do this, I have to say yes, and we can feel so strong. And then later we can think, why was I so impulsive? Why didn't I just take my time? So that's a message for someone that may be beneficial. And I'm not saying don't follow your inspiration. Our inspiration is a beautiful thing, but if it means that you're going to have significant loss, we do associate loss with the 12th house. That's something that I encourage you to spend more time with rather than rushing into it. Beautiful Taurus. Let's see what the cards have to say. Your card is Gates of Triumph. Success is expanding in your life. This is such a great card. I love this card so much. You're going through a portal with this energy. Do you see the darkness? You have already or will go through some darkness with these dark trees, but you are headed toward the light. You are going to come through and be on this path of the sun, of your expanding identity, the sun. Heart chakra healing or opening for some of you. The gates of triumph, success. Success is expanding in your life. This is a portal energy for you. I am not surprised. Neptune in the 12th house. That is a very powerful crossing over a bridge into a new reality, a new beautiful reality. So Taurus, decide what you want that reality to look and feel like. Go into the vortex, feel the energy, because the gates of triumph are waiting to open up for you. And if you want to claim your success and your triumph, let us know in the comments below. My beautiful friend, thank you so much for being here for this Neptune in Aries video. I am super excited for this transit. If you can't tell, this is passion, this is inspiration, this is new aliveness, this is part of our soul coming online. What is not to love about this? Thank you for giving this video a like, a thumbs up, for commenting. I absolutely love your comments. I read them all. For your shares of this video, for your subscribes. Your subscribes are like pressing go on the algorithm. It helps put this video out to more people who love astrology, and it really helps support the growth of my channel. So thank you so much for that. If you would like to do a private astrology consultation with me or a coaching session, go to my website, check out the testimonials that other clients have shared after working with me, and you should get a sense of whether you feel called. It is my absolute joy to support you and meet you on Zoom. Thank you to those of you who have joined us in the Sunday chat. I absolutely love hanging out with you. And I do have a free gift for you. That free gift is a soothing guided meditation that is meant to connect you to your divine wisdom, to your unconditionally loving spiritual presence, and perhaps help ignite a vision for you as well. If you would like to get that free guided meditation led by me, go to my website, sign up for my free inspirational astrology updates, and you will get that free instant download right away. My beautiful friend, let me know how you are feeling about Neptune in Aries. I love hearing your comments. And until my next video, I am sending you all my love.